Well, now to the national response. The Trump administration is telling any American who traveled to New York recently that they should self-quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it just goes to show just how bad the situation is there. In the meantime, Congress is still working on a stimulus package to help Americans who need money now. KCAL 9 political reporter Randy Page is live now with the latest. Randy.
You know, this has been a day of striking contrast, with New York desperately asking for thousands of respirators and ventilators, while at the same time the president is saying he's hoping to get most of America back to work by Easter Sunday.
Easter's a very special day for me.
The president first revealed his plan to get America back to work and to open up large parts of the country by Easter Sunday on Fox News today.
So I think Easter Sunday, and you'll have packed churches all over our country. I think it would be a beautiful time.
And he was asked about it at a news conference later in the evening.
Mr. President, you just reiterated that you hope to have the country reopened by Easter, and you said earlier you would like to see churches packed on that day. My question is, you have two doctors on stage with you. Have either of them told you that's a realistic timeline?
I think we're looking at a timeline. We're discussing it. We had a very good meeting today.
But the nation's leading expert on infectious diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, called for flexibility before committing to any particular date.
When we make policy about what we're going to be doing with the rest of the country, particularly those areas that are not hot spots, we need to know what the penetrance of infection is there. So we need to put a light on those dark spots that we don't know. We have to act policy-wise on data.
The light Dr. Fauci is talking about is widespread testing in areas not yet hit hard by the virus. Then, if the positive numbers are small and traces can be made on all contacts made by the positive person, it might be possible to open certain areas up. Trouble is, that kind of comprehensive testing has not been done anywhere in the country, at least not yet.
We need to know what's going on in those areas of the country where there isn't an obvious outbreak. Is there something underneath the surface that says, wait a minute, you better be careful and really clamp down? Or what looks there that you don't really have to be as harsh as you are in other areas. So it's looking at information that up to this point, John, we never had.
Neurosurgeon and CNN chief medical correspondent Sanjay Gupta said adequate testing has not been done in many parts of the country. It's a very contagious virus. People are moving around the country, and staying home is important, even if it means you can't go to work.
I haven't talked to any public health officials on or off the record who think that, sort of lifting some of the restrictions at that time is a good idea. Easter is 3.5 weeks from the beginning, and sort of the same answer there. It's too early. If you look at China and South Korea, you were looking more at 8 to 10 week sort of timelines. It's painful. But, what you keep hearing is that it's also necessary, or it's going to be even more painful later on.
Another bombshell was dropped at the coronavirus news conference today. 1 out of every 1,000 people in New York are infected. That's 8 to 10 times the rate in other areas. That's why many people are leaving New York for other parts of the country, and they could be bringing disease with them. So today, anyone who has left New York recently is asked to self-quarantine for 14 days.
It's a very serious situation. They've suffered terribly through no fault of their own. But what we're seeing now is that, understandably, people want to get out of New York, which means when they go to another place, for their own safety, they've got to be careful, monitor themselves. If they get sick, bring it to the attention of a physician, get tested. Also, the idea about self-isolating for 2 weeks will be very important, because we don't want that to be another seeding point to the rest of the country wherever they go.
We haven't flattened the curve, and the curve is actually increasing.
Today, with the peak of the pandemic in New York just 14 to 21 days away, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo told the rest of the nation to sit up and pay attention. What's happening there could soon be happening to you.
Where we are today, you will be in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We are your future.
With nearly 1 out of every 4 New York coronavirus hospital patients in intensive care, Governor Cuomo pleaded for 40,000 more ICU beds and 30,000 ventilators.
Where are they? Where are the ventilators?
Vice President Pence responded a couple of hours later.
Earlier today, FEMA from the national stockpile shipped 2,000 ventilators to the state of New York. And tomorrow there will be another 2,000.
But 4,000 is not even close to the 30,000 that are desperately needed.
You pick the 26,000 people who are going to die.
The governor said he doesn't want to keep the ventilators, just use them and pass them on to other desperate hotspots.
You hear what I'm saying here today? You're going to have the governor of California several weeks from now saying the same thing. You're going to have the governor of Illinois saying the same thing. The governor of the state of Washington saying the same thing. Do it right here. We're just the first case.
And while New York may be on life support, the nation's economy is failing too.
We are very close.
The Senate is close to agreeing on a $2 trillion bill to rescue the American economy.
Why is it that big? Because the problem is that big.
$500 billion in loans for big businesses, nearly $40 billion in grants and loans for small businesses.
This is a great plan.
The bill includes a one-time cash payment for most working Americans, up to $1,200 for individuals, $3,000 for the average family. The bill also expands unemployment insurance from 26 weeks to 39 in most states, boosting benefits by $600 a week.
And we are told Senate negotiators are still at it tonight, but we're told they are very close to a deal. Let's go back to you.